Real Housewives real quick.
Oh,
It wasn't a lie. It was just Drew versus girl, not Drew versus
Sadora.
Sadora. Drew versus Sheree. And Sheree bringing up the whether
You
the
got
lady finna pay for the
confused?
chef.
Did you get
What?
confused because of the new nose? Is that why you
There we
said Drew
go.
versus
Yeah.
Sadora?
We gonna start calling Sheree Shadora. That's the name. It's giving
Hazel.
Shadora.
Hazel
Hazel.
Shadora. Hazel Shadora.
Hazel Shadora. I don't like how Sheree asked that lady about that doggone chef. It's like, Sheree, we've been over here wondering if your chef's getting paid, and you over there trying to take a shot at this lady. But I didn't mind Drew calling her out once they got to Portugal, because I mean that's what you want them to do. How you gonna open up the floor for people to have conversations with folks, and when Drew's trying to have the conversation with you, you feeling a way about it, you know?
because she
And
don't
Drew, why
respect
did
her.
you cry? True,
Because she's an actress.
possibly.
I don't think that's why she was crying.
Well, granted, I think it was about Ralph. I did.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was something much
She
bigger than
panicked.
that.
You think she's
Her
scared?
husband.
He out there getting
Her
chocolate.
husband. Yes, her husband in Las
Chocolate
Vegas. She
dipping.
said something to the ladies about it. I think wanting to. I think she was concerned, and he seemed like the type of dude to like turn his phone off, block her ass,
For
and
sure.
have her panicked. And she probably like, okay, it's already a bunch of shit going on. I don't have time for this.
Or say I left it in the room and let the phone just ring.
Yeah, them type of women, they like their entire mind be wherever the man is because the abuser has all the control. So even though she in Portugal, like I don't even feel like she was crying off of the conversation that was being had. Her entire mind was in Las Vegas with Ralph.
The reason why I feel like she was acting is because I feel like Drew is a good actress, and I also feel like I can never really trust anything that Drew does on the show because she be lying on camera. But I'm gonna tell y'all what did it for me. Like I knew she wasn't really crying about the situation. And I honestly feel like she kind of been over Ralph for a minute now. Like she may not be saying anything, but the way she passive aggressively hits him up whenever he's on camera trying to pretend like he's a good guy. And she's like, oh my God, you've never been to the studio before. Oh my God, he doesn't know where a spatula is. Like she's constantly like hitting his ass up on some passive aggressive slick shit to let us know that he's faking and fronting. So honestly, if she was really crying, it might be about a possible lesbian lover girl, but I don't think it's really about Ralph.
Really? You don't
Because
think
they
it's
said
about
that's
Ralph?
the I would
I don't
have
think
thought
she
it
was
was.
crying about her that early.
It may not. It may not even be about her. It might be about somebody finding out about her because it seems as if that's about to come around the corner. That coming out. So I'm making.
You muted.
You muted.
Sorry, accidental. It's just conjecture. I don't know anything for sure, but I just don't trust anything that Drew said. So
Dang,
very
Drew.
sad.
I hate that for you because I be wanting to believe you, but I see why they feel like you and Sheree got a lot of similarities because I don't know if I would
My
trust
odds.
everything Sheree talking about. I really didn't like how they talking about the whole confiscation of products, and you got Candy, even Sonya and Kenya confirming that they didn't get nothing. It went from Drew is lying to that ain't got nothing to do with me because Marlo got stuff, and then production got some stuff. So if y'all ain't getting it, that ain't my fault. I was like,
Sheree's an asshole. Sheree's a bad person as far as I'm concerned. And I felt that way ever since Kim Zolciak got on that stage and said she was a fool for being on a show with a whole bunch of black women and you followed her to the bathroom to rub her back and woo 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 her.
ooh, and bring her
Yes.
back to the show.
Okay,
Yes.
and then brought
Poor.
her back this season. So I really don't see it for Sheree at all, not even a little bit. And to say what I said in my video about the whole Sheree and Drew situation, I think Drew was acting on some level because she was trying to call Sheree out on being fake. Sheree spent the whole fucking episode talking about healing, 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 and everybody knew it was bullshit. So when Drew was like, okay, well, if we're gonna talk about healing, what about what you did to me? And so her forcing Sheree to apologize and Sheree choosing to be like, oh, well, how does it feel? I feel like she cried in order to like make Sheree look even worse. Like, oh yeah, if you pretend like you a good person, I'm gonna make you show you a good person. If not, it's gonna make you look bad. So either way, I won. I
Interesting.
think Drew is very strategic with the things that she does on the show, and I can't, I don't know why, but I can't believe she was crying for real in that moment because oh, Sheree hurt my feelings and she's not being a real friend to me. You know that lady don't like you, and it's because she can't use you. Sheree is somebody that only really cares about people she can use. Like,
Yeah.
can Candy. She'll apologize to them. She'll have her little moments where she makes sense with them. But somebody like Drew, anybody else who she doesn't really like that she can't use, she don't give a fuck about how you feel, girl.
Her and Marlo go together real bad.
Real bad.
Not real
And
bad.
Sonya. And fucking Sonya. Oh, weird
Sonya
ass.
got on my damn nerves. Like, I'm just
When Sonya
like,
said,
what
let's see who really worldwide.
Bring up Martell one more time. Bring up Martell
but
one
look,
more time, Sonya.
what did y'all think about that though? The fact that she felt like Kenya didn't make it a big deal about Roy dating Marlo or going. First of all, Marlo corrected her and said one day. I just felt like, first of all, Sheree made that a big deal. Kenya took it to Sheree. Sheree made it a big deal. Y'all brought it to Kenya. Kenya didn't make it a big deal. So what do you want her to do? You want her to just go off because Marlo dated this man like years ago? I didn't.
Let me see. I can't remember because when I watched the show, I gotta see. Kenya said at least 6 months ago. Martell says it. I don't know. I can't stand Sonya, but I did kind of see where they was coming from.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you why I did.
I think that Kenya handled it well, which was like it's not a big deal. But I saw where Sonya was coming from. The other thing with Martell is we don't really know what was in the DMs. Based on what we saw, it was, what was it? Thanks for your support or whatever. So I don't know. I thought that Sonya had a point, even though I can't stand her ass.
I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm sorry. I don't think Sonya had a point at all. And the reason why I feel like that is because I think everybody's ignoring the main factor here. Martell was only hitting both of you bitches up so that he can try to get on another reality show that was bigger than the one he's already on, so he can one up Mel.
Agree.
That's why he's in your DMs hitting all you bitches up, because Real House is something that Carlos probably told him to do. He did not come up with that on his own. I fucking promise. Okay, so because I'm looking at both of the men. Let's be real. Roy is already successful. He doesn't need to come on Real Housewives of Atlanta to be successful. He doesn't need to date any of the women on the show in order to be successful. He already is. So the difference is the motive and the intention. Martell's intention was to find a lick. Roy just so happened to get introduced to Kenya via Mayetta, because Mayetta is out here introducing all of the black girls to the John B. White boys that got money. Okay. And you know, just like your girl Sheree at one point was introducing everybody to the Africans. So yeah.
So Sonya wasn't talking about their intention though. Sonya was talking about the reaction. So whenever Sonya made her point, it was, why did you think Martell's DMs was a big enough deal to bring it up? But whenever they brought up Roy, it was kind of like, it's a non-factor. So if you look at it that way, then it's right, but that wasn't Sonya's point. It didn't matter what the DMs was. It was just the fact that they DM. So it was like, why was it a big deal?
It wasn't a DM at first. It wasn't a DM. That Marlo didn't say DM. Marlo said we went on a date. She didn't say nothing about DMs. Sonya said DMs later. But at the
after Kenya came back.
Right. Yeah, but at the actual table, it wasn't a conversation about, oh, he slid in the DMs. It was, oh, we went on a date one time. It wasn't that big of a deal. And I just kind of feel like at the end of the day, I think when Kenya said something about Martell and it being such a big deal, because she recognized Martell being like Mark. I think she now has her experience with narcissists. And I think she recognized Martell from being on the show. I think she watched Love and Marriage Huntsville. And I think all of her feelings about him are the reason why she wanted to say something to Sheree and warn Sheree. And I think it was because she thought, girl, he just trying to use you. Now, when it circled back around to why it wasn't a big deal when Marlo said she dated Roy, because, bitch, I won't give your ratchet ass the satisfaction of knowing that you made me upset because you dated this nigga before I got to him. I'm not giving you the satisfaction. That's why.
Exactly. And that's the difference. It's the reaction they chose to take. Sheree chose to involve Martell, and that heightened it. All Kenya did was go to her and then understand men lie on Kenya on this show. So she probably wanted to go ahead and let her know before anything came out and the story was told any differently than what it really was. So I'm just like, but even without that, Sheree made this a big deal. And then you got to look at who you're dealing with too, because Martell also heightened that, because he heightened most situations. But then when it comes to, Kenya, it was like, okay. And, I don't even fuck with you like that. And because I don't, I'm not going to get, you're looking for a moment and you won't get one here. So what else is going on?
I love Kenya 2.0,
Me
but
too.
are y'all for real? Y'all really think that she came from a place of let me tell Sheree because of my experience? Or do y'all think it was let me say this shit on camera for a storyline? Because Kenya is an
Both.
amazing housewife, and I think
Both.
that's what it was.
I don't know. I
I
can't
think it
say
was
it was
both.
it
Because
was a storyline because it didn't even last past that episode for real.
I mean, I'm gonna just keep it a buck. I feel like Sheree and Martell wanted to have a moment. Like, I'm sorry, that's how she felt.
1000%.
Absolutely. Absolutely. She
1000.
did him a
And
favor.
Kenya
Sheree
showed up
felt
and did
good
her
to have
job.
a man kind of like him defending himself made Sheree feel like he was defending her. So she
But
felt
he wasn't.
good having that type of energy there.
And
But,
she was happy to have the moment about her. It's the first
Yeah.
episode, and her little fake relationship is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. They know everybody's gonna want to know about their relationship and all of that shit. And I really do feel like Kenya wouldn't have blown up on him had he not ran up on her the way he did. If he had kept it cute, the way we know that Roy probably would have kept it cute, because Roy come and drop food off and leave. We don't see him stick
Yeah.
around and have uncomfortable conversations with people and shit. So I feel like he wouldn't have even handled it the same way because Martell wanted a moment. So even like I felt like comparing the two in a grand scheme of things, we know what Martell and Sheree were doing was for a storyline, and Kenya really trying to get some dick. So I just kind of feel like yeah, she probably went off on Martell because he's an asshole and also to have a moment. But that's how this works. You use the moments that actually annoy you and you turn it up. And I think that's what she did. But I still don't have a problem with it because nobody holds Martell accountable on his show. So it needed to happen somewhere.
oh my.
That's true. I ain't have a problem with it at all. But I don't think it was from, let me
That's what I
look
was
out
waiting
for
on.
him.
Nisi saying I still
But
stand by what I said when it came to something.
as much as I can't stand Saya, if I
Yeah.
just look at just this bit of the situation, the black and white, I'm like,
Yeah.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I ain't trying to change your mind. I'm just saying why I feel
Mm-hmm.
how I feel. I ain't trying to change your mind. Ultimately, it is what it is. We still don't like science.
That's true. We can agree
Facts.
on that.
I
We can
don't.
agree on that.
I don't. But you want to be her friend, but you over there talking about that lady. And then giggling and laughing. Candy called you out the first time and you still doing the same activity. Y'all need to see her for who she is. I wonder how she's gonna address those things when the reunion comes around. But nothing else really happened on Real Housewives of Atlanta that I think that was it.
Yeah, that was pretty
I
much
mean, Kenya telling
it.
Courtney that like, girl, don't put your hands on me, don't touch me. That and damn near ignoring her in Portugal was damn near hilarious. But I think that was all. I think we're gonna get into some more stuff on the next episode though.
Yeah, you're right. I'm looking at it now.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, before we move on to our next segment, let me get these last few super chats. Ariel Aesthetic, thank you so much. Y'all so pretty. Storm Disciple, hi ladies, just sending some appreciation for entertaining me every Thursday that you can. Thank you for the super chat. Micah says Drew implies next week that the lawsuit may be because Ralph was involved with the chef. She probably suing because Ralph didn't hire her to cook. Thank you for the super
That
chat.
sounds like a lie. That sounds like Drew just said. Drew just said something when she was
But
mad.
Did she
it
win the
would make
lawsuit though?
I don't know, but
Oh,
if
I
she
don't
was
know.
crying, that could have been why. Because bitch, you bringing up this chef, and I'm trying to keep it under wraps that my husband was fucking the chef.
I'd be even more concerned about her husband fucking that director. Because you remember, it was the assistant and somebody that he had writing a book that was interested in. Well, maybe it wasn't nobody writing the book. It was the assistant that was interested in him. And now the ladies is like, oh, you got your. It was the book, Lady Bondi.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was about being a stepdaddy.
okay, that's what I thought. But I was like, I don't know. Now the ladies got you like, oh, your husband in Las Vegas with your director that recommended him or producer, whatever she is for the music video. Yeah, she nervous. And did y'all
Yeah,
see him posting that thirst trap on Twitter this week?
I did see that. He's always listen, y'all. The way he was talking to Drew when he was getting everybody organized and stuff, it was giving. Ralph wants to be a house. He gives Peter a little bit, like
absolutely.
He wants to be a housewife so bad. He wants her celebrity, and I can't take it. And I just realized that once I saw the song they did together, he needed to be on the album cover too, and he ain't even singing. He's just a producer. And I'm like, girl, this man wants your spotlight.
That's why he kept popping up. That's why I was saying that Drew kept calling him out on being passive aggressive when he popped up when being fake. When he popped up at the studio and she was like, "Oh my God, you've never been here." And it just so happened to be the day that the video people was there and they saw his body and he took his shirt off and all of that. Like it's always given he's just trying to be there because the cameras are there and she's kind of low-key calling him out on it.
Exactly.
Hilarious.
But enjoying it too because she be looking for
attention from it. It's probably the only time.
Yeah.
Only time he act right.